Good evening. We begin here at 5 o'clock with the loosening of mask restrictions. They are now optional on TriMet buses and trains. This comes a day after PDX dropped its mask mandate. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko. Nearly all major airlines have made masks optional as well, with President Biden, who's coming to Oregon later this week, saying today the decision to wear one should be left up to you. Let's bring in Bryant Clerkley now, who talked to TriMet riders at the Hollywood Transit Center. And Bryant, this all happened so quickly. It's not surprising to see all sorts of different comfort levels with this big change.
That's right. Hey, David and Laurel. So some people are happy that they can finally ditch the mask, and some people are saying that they're not going to ditch the mask until they know that the threat of COVID-19 is over. And this comes after a federal court decision in Florida struck down the Biden administration's rule for masking on public transportation. Kaiser Permanente Dr. Katie Scharf says not wearing a mask on a plane is a bit different than on trains and buses. She says airlines have really good air exchange and ventilation. On buses and trains, ventilation is a lot more limited, so she's more cautious. Some frequent TriMet users say they will go maskless, and some say they won't.
I think it's fantastic. It's really nice to be able to be free and have, fresh air and everything.
Last year, I ended up getting COVID, and just until I'm absolutely sure that it's safe, I'm gonna keep wearing it, just because I have a friend that's immune compromised that I'm currently living with.
TriMet does say it will take time for everyone to adjust to optional masking, so people will still see masking signs on buses and trains. So it'll take a while for all those signs to come down, so please be patient. And when it does come to the Portland streetcar, masks are optional as well on those. The Multnomah County Public Health Director does say that she recommends people still wear masks on public transit, planes, trains, and buses because of rising COVID numbers. David, Laurel.
Thank you, Brian. And as for the ruling that struck down the mask mandate, the Justice Department said today it will only appeal the decision if the CDC determines a mask mandate is still needed. If the CDC says it's not needed, the Biden administration will leave things as is.
New info tonight after U.S. Marshals shot a suspect in southeast Portland. Authorities say a marshal shot a fugitive from Washington who they say was trying to escape arrest. That man, 23-year-old Roman Culver, also allegedly rammed several police cars. That is when the officer fired. Culver's now in the hospital. Another man was also hurt and treated for minor injuries. Now, Culver, marshals say, was wanted for various crimes in Washington, including robbery, assault, and a carjacking. No marshals were injured.
Now for an update to a story we've been following for a couple of weeks now. It turns out the suspect in a deadly shooting under the Burnside Bridge is no stranger to law enforcement. He was arrested less than 2 weeks earlier for a violent assault in Old Town. Mike Benner's been digging into the suspect's past and joins us outside the Multnomah County Jail. Mike?
And Laurel, that suspect's name is Rizzo Lucas. He's being held behind bars without bail due to the charges from that murder you mentioned. But we learned that Lucas is also facing assault charges stemming from an attack in Old Town not long before that murder. Court documents indicate that Lucas was one of several men who repeatedly kicked and punched a man near Northwest 2nd and Cooch on March 28th. The attack was so violent the victim suffered a laceration to his head and he was in and out of consciousness. Police arrested Lucas for third-degree assault, but he was not in jail long. Lucas posted bail and walked out. Things only escalated from there. About a week and a half later, on April 8th, Lucas is suspected of shooting and killing a man under the Burnside Bridge near Southwest NATO. According to court documents obtained by KGW, a masked Lucas shot Fars Gidey in the face. That afternoon, we did speak to a witness who heard the gunfire and found the victim.
He did drop right there next to the bridge. When I seen him drop in the ground, I was like, hey, man, stay awake. Don't just lay down.
Yeah, the victim was hurt badly, and as we mentioned, he died at the hospital. Officers arrested Lucas a short time later. He was taken to the Multnomah County Jail. So Lucas was back in the same jail where he was less than 2 weeks earlier for that assault in Old Town. And listen to this. While sitting in jail on the murder charge, Lucas is accused of attacking a corrections deputy who was tasked with keeping an eye on him. Fortunately, that corrections deputy should be okay. Back to you.
Mike Benner in downtown Portland. Thank you, Mike. And we are learning more tonight about the victims of another Portland shooting that killed a teenager and wounded 3 other teens. The David Douglas School District confirming that 2 of the victims, including the teen who was killed, are students there. It's making school counselors available. Police say the shooting Sunday night at Southeast 162nd and Stark may have been a drive-by. No word on any arrests.
Police are on alert in Washougal following an attempted kidnapping. They say at about 7 o'clock last night, a 13-year-old girl was walking home when a man started chasing after her and tried to grab her. This was by 6th Street and C Street. The girl managed to get away and make it home. Police are still looking for the suspect and are asking anyone with information to contact them.
Well, 2 men are in jail accused of ramming a sheriff's deputy's patrol car during an escape attempt. It all started with a call early this morning on Southwest Butner Road in Washington County. A neighbor heard power tools and thought someone was trying to steal a trailer. We'll come back to the noise in a second, but when deputies arrived, they say a BMW, there it is, rammed one of their cars. 2 men inside then got out, police say, and tried to make a run for it, but police caught them and arrested both. The BMW turned out to be stolen, along with a Ford truck the suspects had. Deputies say they'd been trying to cut the catalytic converter off the truck. The deputy in the rammed car was treated in the hospital and released.
A Portland family is mourning the deaths of 2 teenagers and 2 adults killed in a wrong-way crash this month. Galen Etlin joins us in the newsroom. And Galen, you spoke with the teenager's mother who wanted to share their stories with us. This is just so heartbreaking.
It really is, Laurel. She invited me into her home today before the funeral for her children. And right now, this candlelit altar sits in the living room of Sadalyn Nguyen's home, showing her kids, 13-year-old Etana and 19-year-old Philip. On April 10th, the car their father, Huy Nguyen, was driving left its lane on Highway 18, colliding with an oncoming RV. All 4 people in the car, including their grandmother, Vam Tran, died. Support is now pouring in on GoFundMe with a page set up by Sadalyn's co-workers at Legacy Emmanuel Hospital.
This is a mother's worst nightmare, but it's worse if I had to grieve alone, and everybody's grieving with me, and I appreciate everybody.
They're thanking the many people, some strangers who have sent food, flowers, and donations. And if you would like to help, we are going to link to that support page on KGW.com. We've also got a more in-depth story about Etana and Philip. Laurel, David.
Really some tough days and weeks ahead for that family. Galen, thank you. Well, to a woman in Northeast Portland who says her RV was set on fire while she was inside sleeping. It appears she may have been deliberately targeted because of where she lives. Witnesses tell police a yellow moving truck drove by on Northwest 33rd Drive around 5 o'clock yesterday morning, and someone inside that truck tossed out an explosive device. It rolled underneath Cherie Thomas DeClue's motorhome and exploded, starting a fire. Fortunately, she made it out.
If I would have had my propane tank on, it would have blown me up. We're not supposed to be out here, but it's not fair for them to be doing stuff like that to us, thinking that they're better than we are, when there's a saying about them being one paycheck from being out here.
Police and arson investigators are asking anyone with information, video, photos, anything, to share them with detectives.
Changing gears now to the effort to protect sensitive information. Technology is becoming more abundant in our daily lives, and so are thieves trying to take advantage. That's why, as Christine Pitawanich found out, there's a big push right now to get more people into the cybersecurity field.
In the world of cybersecurity, experts say there's a big shortage of workers. It's an issue, especially because there's no shortage of people trying to steal or exploit sensitive information.
So a lot of different groups, from government to different companies to other types of organizations to educational institutions, are trying to figure out how can we get more people with cybersecurity skills to fill these different positions.
Dr. Kara Tang is a Portland Community College professor who leads the cybersecurity program. She says the school just received a $189,000 grant from the National Security Agency, or NSA.
The National Security Agency has a program that they call Gen Cyber that they've been running for a number of years now. And this program hosts camps for students from K through 12 to get interested in cybersecurity.
PCC's role will be supporting those camps through collecting vetted curriculum, so there's a central location for each camp to draw resources. The idea to help promote interest in the cybersecurity field among more kids from different backgrounds.
This will be a public resource that can also be used by, teachers at school, even outside of the Gen Cyber program, if they want to teach cybersecurity in their courses.
It's no accident that PCC has been chosen to head up the nationwide effort.
PCC has been recognized by the NSA as a center of academic excellence in cybersecurity.
She says the school received that designation in 2018.
Dr. Kara Tang says PCC will be working with a nonprofit that will host the educational materials online. She's hoping that some resources will be available by this summer. We'll post a link to that website in our web story on KGW.com. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.